Hi, warriors. This is Jaylen Megahead, my legal warrior. And today's segment is about individuals that have been impacted by the coronavirus and they're impacted financially. You're impacted in all sorts of different ways, obviously, with the stay-at-home order, but financially, that's your biggest hit. And so individuals that have lost their jobs, their hours have been cut, or are just kind of in limbo and can't find new employment, or at least enough to maintain their standard of living or to meet their monthly paycheck or monthly expenses from their paycheck, they're probably scrambling to look for jobs. And there are, surprisingly, there are jobs out there about minimum wage. So that may or may not necessarily assist with your maintenance of your lifestyle for you and your family. However, it's something and it's better than nothing. And let's not forget that the government is giving $1,200 for individuals that have earned no more than $75,000. I will reserve my opinions on that. But for the purposes of this segment, if you didn't have the funds to even, let's say all of this is said and done, and you still don't even have funds to start the process of a divorce, a paternity action, a civil harassment restraining order, there is a fee associated with that. But if it's a domestic violence restraining order, there is not a fee associated with it. Of course, there's an exception for the civil harassment and restraining order as to how to avoid not having to pay that $435. And so essentially to start an action, it costs $435. When I use the word start an action, I am literally talking about starting a whole entire proceeding. Whether you're litigating it or not litigating it, you still have to have a case number. And in order for you to obtain a case number, the court has to receive a petition and summons from you. Now we'll go into another video and to explain the difference between, a summons for each of the different actions. But for today's purposes, if and when this all blows over and you still don't have funds to afford the $435 for a dissolution, so for a divorce or a paternity action or petition for support and minor of the children, those sort of petitions that are commonly filed in family law, well, there's something called a fee waiver packet. And actually, I'm surprised that there's not a lot of individuals that are aware of this and are deterred from even filing anything because they just can't even afford the filing fees. So here is the form that you need to complete in order for the court to accept your paperwork. And so what's ironic is that you fill this out and you complete it and you actually don't know whether it's going to get granted or not. So this is the fee waiver packet for the County of San Diego, and it even gives you, this packet gives you the information on the waiver, and what kind of fees can be waived when you request the court to waive fees. So filing papers, so that proceeding that you want to go ahead and start, that $435, that can be waived. Or the court might put you also on a payment plan. So the court can't waive it for you because they look at your income and they think that actually you can afford it, just maybe not all at once, but in installments. They put you as something as nominal as $25 a month sometimes until it's paid off in full. And then others, there are cases where the court does require you to pay the full amount, or they'll just outright deny you the fee waiver. So it's really crucial as to how you fill out this form as well. And if you need a little bit more guidance as to how to complete the form, feel free to contact an attorney to assist you with that. But something as making and certifying copies, I personally go to the court and always need copies of something. It's great when my clients have the fee waiver because then I don't have to pay for the copies, or even to certify, let's say, their judgment for divorce at the end of the year or the end of their case. Hopefully they're done before the end of the year. But yeah, so these are the different reasons, or not reasons, but the different waivers that the court can go ahead and issue to you. So, and one of the things as well is you can even take it a step further, because there's two types of waivers. One is just the stuff that I just mentioned right now, the filing of the paperwork, making and certifying the copies, and then the sheriffs to go ahead and give notice to the other party, court reporter fees, as well as assessment for court investigations, and this is typically for guardianship matters, preparing and certifying copying the clerk's transcript for appeals, holding and trust a deposit for a reporter's transcript also on appeal, and making a transcript or unofficial electronic recording. And then giving notices, sending papers to another court department. So all of those fees can get waived if you do fill out this fee waiver packet. You can take it even a step further. Let's say you anticipate having a hearing and you need to put the family court services mediator on the witness stand. If you don't know what a family court services mediator is, we'll create another video about that, and you'll have some more information as to who and what that is and how to prepare for it. But for now, this is the request to waive additional court fees. So this is great if you have, jurors. In family law, there's no such thing as a juror. Fees for court-appointed experts and other necessary court fees, and that's very vague. And then the peace officer to testify in court. So if you had a police officer that was part of your restraining order and they responded to the incident, then you could essentially have them come to court and their fees can be waived. And then a court-appointed interpreter fees for a witness. Now there's free interpreters for parties, but for witnesses, no. So if you had wanted to have a third-party witness, like your grandma testify or something like that at your restraining order hearing or your custody hearing, then those individuals, if they need an interpreter, the court can go ahead and waive those fees for you with this additional form. So, and then it goes into all of the important information, and basically everything on here is signed under penalty of perjury. So you want to make sure that everything is true and accurate. Do not lie on these forms just to get a fee waiver. But just going back to, you're going to fill out, of course, the preliminary information, pretty obvious stuff, even your job if you have one. And then if you are on any form of public assistance, this is the easiest way for the fee waiver to get granted. So if you receive food stamps, supplemental security income, SSP, Medi-Cal, county relief, general assistance, IHSS, CalWorks, tribunal, TANF, or CAPI, the court is more likely than not going to grant you the restraining order because you're already on those sort of forms of relief. So, but if your gross monthly income, so it's before taxes, your whole entire household, so if you live with not only your children, but your parents and your grandparents, and you're all in a household, that whole entire household has to make whatever is less than these numbers, or no more than these numbers. So there's 6 of you in that house. The whole entire house, not just you, the whole entire house can only make 3,603 people. And then it says right here, if there's more than 6 people living inside your house, you're going to add $460.42 to figure out what is the gross monthly household income. Now, if that is something that you don't fall under, then there's the third category, and you don't have enough income to pay for basic needs and the court fees. And so the court is having you you want to ask the court either to waive all of your court fees or waive just some of the court fees, or let me just make some payments over time. And so the court has the ability to do one of these 3 things. And of course, if you ask the court to waive fees for you in the last 6 months, so if this is not your first filing and you're in the 2 years into your case, and or even 2 years after your case, and you're filing a motion to modify something, and for modifications it costs $60 plus the $25 in order for you to modify any proceedings, or any orders. So you need to start a proceeding. And so if you can't even afford the $60+, then this is a form that you would need to file with it. So if you did check off this box right here, the one that you don't have enough income to pay your household basic needs and the court fees, and essentially this form has to look like that your expenses, your net income is not sufficient to meet your total expenses. So this number, if it's greater than this number, then the court might waive your fees, put you on a payment plan, or actually deny it depending on how you complete this. So you also, it's very important, I'm sure many people forget to look at this, but it says if your financial information or ability to pay improves, you have to notify the court within 5 days on the form FW010. So that is actually important that you do notify the court in case there is a change of circumstances in your income. Now, if this page right here is not enough for you to identify your expenses, your real estate, and deductions, and there's more deductions than, or installment pages, payments, the court allows you to attach another sheet. It's called MC025, and it's just this sheet that you're going to title financial information with your name and the case number on the top, and you're going to tell the court why or what your expenses are and what those deductions are from your household income. And it asks you, if you have at least 4 people in there, it's going to ask you who are those 4 people that are living with you and what's their income. So you're going to have to list the information because it is signed under penalty of perjury, and so you need to complete it. And earlier we were talking about waiving additional court fees, and so this is the other form that you would go ahead and fill out, and then you would need to give this to the court as well. It's a proposed order, so you complete it, and really the judge is going to be the one to sign off on it. So if the court goes ahead and signs off on it, then fantastic, and you'll know what your order is. Now, remember when we said you have to tell the court whether your financial improvement, whether you've improved, then you have to go ahead and fill out this FW010, and the court will be placed on notice, and the court will want you to provide the updated information so that they can go ahead and review it and see whether they can, in fact, allow you to waive the rest of the court fees if you have any, left, or vice versa. And this could be upwards or downwards, especially if the court has denied you your fee waiver or has put you on some installment plan that you can't meet those obligations. Then this is a great form to also fill out during your proceedings. So there you have it, folks. This is but this is one of the forms that you can go ahead and complete. It's actually the only form that you can go ahead and complete in order for you to obtain a fee waiver. So whether you're in family law or otherwise, but we're completing this for the family law matters because that is the only thing that my legal warrior really knows how to do. If you can please share this video and the content of this video with friends, family, colleagues, anybody that you know, because you really never know who is going through a difficult time and is struggling to start a legal proceeding and feels that they just can't because they have to wait until the court or until they have enough money or to get a loan or a credit card or whatever. But they can actually just start now by having that fee waiver completed. So as soon as the courthouse is open, they can go ahead and file it and have those fees waived. Now, you won't know whether the fees have been waived right then and there, unless it's, the county. You see you've been receiving some sort of welfare, then you will know. But if it's any of the other boxes that we reviewed, so your income has to be below your expenses. Your expenses outweigh your income, your net income, household income, or the household does not have enough income to support your monthly expenses, then the court is going to take the time to review it. And sometimes they actually set a hearing. So, you know, they can order you to come back on a different day to explain why you need this fee waiver. And so you need to make sure that you have your paycheck stubs and whatever information that's related to your finances so that the court can make a order as to how much you should be paying moving forward. And perhaps at that point it's just the motion for you know, to establish some support for you from the other party, and then also the proceeding filings, the petition filings. So again, if you found this helpful, please share, and please be safe out there and follow the orders that are given. It's for our safety and the safety of the individuals in our community that we just don't know what they're going through. And this legal process is no different. So please share, be well, be safe, and we hope that you have a good week, warriors. Thank you.